Hello out there in podcast land. Welcome to Beer League. Here in the Get Off My Lawn studios here. And what's happening, Greg? How you been, bud?
Hey, I've been doing good, man. We just got our first soccer game under the old belt. It was a close one. Mm-hmm. I tell you, it was wild. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen because we've been coaching these kids for 3 years or something. And they changed the date of the cutoff for the birth, right? Mm-hmm. So we're playing up with half the team, so a lot of these kids are, just about to be 14, and we got some 11 and 12-year-olds, right? So it's a little bit different. But we had goalies over the years. We've had some pretty good goalies, but this season we didn't really have a goalie, and we were going to make a game-time decision. So you can imagine playing up with a first-time goalie, but all of a sudden we're getting ready to go out there and warm up, and some guy comes up, and he's got his phone. He's like, I'm looking for a team. And we're like, okay. Who's the coach? He's looking to his phone, can't find it. Like, Marky Fuller? Like, yeah. Like, okay. We said, well, what's your son play? He says, goalie. He says, Daniel, come here. Daniel's taller than me. He comes in 13 and a half. I'm like, I'm not going to look at that birth certificate, but man, he could ball out, dude. I mean, he was an amazing goalie. He's the best goalie I've seen in all of rec soccer. Right. So we got lucky, man, with a goalie from heaven.
Shep Messing. I don't know if you know Shep Messing, but that's the old school soccer right there.
So we played a tough game. It was at night. It was 7:45, thank God. I mean, I can't imagine what it's going to be like here on Saturday when it's 95 degrees.
That's hot.
It's
been hot.
It's
been hot
a
out
big
here.
Field, and those kids were dog tired at 8:30. So we're going to see what happens.
It's like blowing a hairdryer in your face the whole time. I don't know, man. This heat's getting to me. I got to be honest. I like sitting here and, hey, listen. On our side, hockey started. All right, and ice hockey. We went down to Centennial yesterday, and it was nice and cool inside that place. It was great. It was actually a little chilly. I should have brought a hoodie with me. One of those Beer League hoodies I should have brought on there. But it was cool seeing it. Excuse me. Watching these kids get back out on the ice, and the dust was coming off of them and everything. It was funny. So we have a carpool now. So we got to have the carpool. I have 4 kids in the car right now, and everyone's there all excited. And I looked back at the kids. I go, hey boys, get ready. Like, what's up? What's up? I go, they're going to skate you a lot, and you're going to sweat. They're like, no, that doesn't. I said, listen, your first practice of any sport, it's about conditioning. I go, that's what's going to happen to you guys. You wait and see. No, you don't need talking about Mr. K. You're an idiot. All right, whatever. Sure enough, that's what they did. Good job, coach. You skated them. You saw them bent over. They were huffing and puffing. It was awesome just to see them do that. They're like, how'd you know? I'm like, come on. You got to get it done, man. Get it done.
It's not your first rodeo, is it?
No, not at all. But I got to tell you, it was kind of cool seeing all the peeps again. Old school. It was like hugging, kissing people. And you know what? Alec was there. Absolutely, Alec, man. That was great. He looked great out there. I mean, he's just out there. He was great. Talked to his mom. She was super. And she's like, I'm so happy to be back here.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
It is a miracle. Absolutely a miracle. But I've seen old friends, old faces. And
man, speaking of old friends here, we got a professional in the house today. We got somebody that knows a lot more than we do, but, me and Chad go way back to the 2000s, right? Oh. Class of 2000, that's right.
You guys were the same classes and everything?
We were in the same fraternity,
really?
Right? At
same
University
graduating class in high school, too. Class of 2000?
It's the best class, is it not? I mean, we the best. You can say it.
I'm really feeling old, guys, because you guys are 2000. Man. Just get off my lawn.
Greg, you'll remember everything in that class. It was geared towards the class of 2000. The movie American Pie was like the summer of 99. Like everything... Can't Hardly Wait was a movie around then. Like it was all geared towards high school kids, class of 2000. So
it was awesome.
I feel like we're a special group,
Yeah, we really are because we remember the world before the internet.
Yeah.
And we remember the world before Facebook.
No, it was, what do you call it before that? It was MySpace. You guys had MySpaces.
Well, quickly our life, we're getting older, but I feel like we're the class that half of our life has been with internet and all these things and half has been without.
So our brains work.
Right. But, in 20 years, we'll be, completely
You'll look at
technology
me
pilled.
Right, I'm the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're excited that you joined us here today. Of all days, a big day for Chad kicking off his new show, right? On sportandstate.com.
And absolutely.
Hutton and Withrow on the YouTube, and we watched a little bit of that show. It was started off strong, exactly where you guys left off. So congratulations on that, man. That's really exciting.
Thank you. I thought I don't have enough going on today. I need to come talk to you guys too.
Exactly.
Let's go straight from the show and let's go
another
right
show.
I'm staring at Al Bundy over here, and
there he is.
Mark Messier, and there's a lot to look at. Goodfellas, Better Call Saul. This is an amazing studio setup you guys have here, by the way.
Thanks
I would say, Greg, honestly, it's the best first day of a show we've had in terms of setting the bar high. Like you go into it and there's always, you got to go through this wrinkle and go through this, and this microphone doesn't work, or this headset doesn't work, or this. That's natural trial and error with anything. Mm-hmm. But with this, it was pretty smooth.
Nice.
Knock on wood, we had a couple dry runs in the days before, but everything went pretty well. So we're psyched about it. Hutton Withrow, Sport and State Network on the Hutton Withrow YouTube channel. We're pumped. So it was a good start.
That's awesome. I tell you,
and thank you guys for having me too.
Oh no, thanks for coming down. Like you said, you're spinning. You're like, oh yeah, why I'm going on another show?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, like you have nothing else better to do.
Franklin's lovely this time of year. So why the hell not? Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's drive down there.
But that's great. It's your opening day today, and that's what's great. Even more so for us to even promote it too. Hey, listen, this is your first show, and let's rock. That's great, man. But first thing, we got to do the claps. We didn't do the claps yet. We have to introduce them. I know you said it.
Chad.
Yeah, for Chad. There you go. There's my claps. There we go. All right. So, Chad, you guys knew each other back in college and everything. You guys are together. And again, thanks for coming. Love it. These shows, what made you really start wanting to do what you do right now? And what, in college when it happened, talk to us about it. And if it is a kid right now, our intern, we do have an intern that is just gung-ho, ready to go to, he wants to be in the media, he wants to talk, and he wants to be in front of the microphone all the time. What's something that you would give to him, a suggestion, or what route for him to go?
Gosh, it's almost tough for me to even answer today in 2026 because the world is so different than the one that I entered. Greg was a talented musician, singer in college, was in a band, and I think knew that he had a passion for it. I knew that I had a passion for sports. I played it, my whole life. I watched them. I wanted to work in sports. I didn't know that I wanted to be a part of the sports media or be on camera or on mic in any way. And I kind of fell backwards into it where I had an internship with the Houston Astros right out of the University of Tennessee, fell apart last minute. Someone who married my cousin is Drew Maddox, former Vanderbilt basketball legend. He's very well connected in Nashville media. He set me up with George Plaster to be his intern for an old sports talk radio show. George is still very alive and well in the market, doing his thing, and started doing that and just kind of realized, and I'm sure everybody's got a story like this, like you do something and you're pretty good at it. You didn't know that you were going to be good at it. It's not something, I didn't grow up on stage or trying to do theater or any of that. I was a kid who loved sports, played sports, went to school. That was pretty much it. And I had a good knowledge and base of knowledge and trivia knowledge of sports and all that helped. But once I started doing it, I realized pretty quickly, hey, this is something I could do. I like it. Didn't know that I wanted to be on camera originally. Maybe just wanted to produce, be behind the scenes, end up being an executive of some sort. But I like doing it. And really, I'm unique in it because I worked at one place from 2004 when I left Tennessee until 2021. So
Unicorn.
17 years, one place, worked my way up from executive producer to 6 p.m. hour host to hosting a high school football Friday night show, which I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about, to starting my own high school football website, to hosting a daily 3-hour show or 4-hour show, 3-hour show, kind of back and forth. So really worked my way up until eventually taking the job with Clay and Outkick, and now moving over with Clay on his new media venture. My advice to someone starting out in the business of what to do or how to go about it, just be open to doing everything in the business. It's not good enough to say, oh, I'm just good at radio or I'm good at doing a 45-second TV hit. You really got to nowadays be multimedia. You got to know how to edit. You got to know how to produce your own stuff. I mean, you guys are doing that in here right now with everything you're doing. You got to understand the tech behind it. And you got to be willing to write, be on camera, be off camera, whatever it is. Because I think in today's world, it really does support someone who knows how to do everything and can do everything well.
See, I like what you just said, do everything well. Instead of just, hey, I want to be in front of the mic. That's it. That's all I do. No, you got to write too.
Yeah.
I mean, look at some of these producers. I mean, the anchor people, they write their own stuff. You know, they do.
I remember a college professor once told me, you know, he asked, who all here knows Michael Jordan or knows who Michael Jordan is? Of course, everybody, you know, raised their hand. He said, okay, who here knows that Michael Jordan knows you? And of course, no one raises their hand. And he said, the point is, it's not good enough to know who the person is. You need to stand out and they need to know you. So if you're in an event, and this was a sport management, sport business class, and they said, if you're in an event and your job is you got to load chairs for this event, or you got to load them up, be the best chair loader you can possibly be.
That's it.
Right? This is a great lesson for anyone because you never know who's watching. I had this conversation with my 11-year-old daughter who's playing a lot of sports right now too. You know, there was, in fact, an incident with my 6-year-old daughter at practice recently. We're getting done with practice, and the coach says, hey, we're scrimmaging. Whoever wants to go hit again can go hit. And her first inclination was, it's hot. She's putting the stuff back up in her back. I said, no. If the coach gives you an opportunity to go hit again, go hit again. Mm-hmm. As long as you're physically able, then do it. I would say that for anyone, stand out. Yeah. Like, hey, that person was really good about working the room, or that person was good about loading chairs, or that person was good about the stage setup for the band event that night. Whatever it is you want to get into, be noticeable, right? That's I think a lesson for anyone starting out in the business is, boy, I met that person and they're a go-getter and they're young, but they get it and they really got after it. That's a great compliment to give anyone.
Yeah, I love that line, be noticeable. That's some of the things I tell kids all the time. Yeah. I'm like, hey, listen, you're great. You're good baseball, hockey, football, whatever player, but be noticeable. Separate yourself from that other person. And they all look at each other. What do you mean? I'm like, guys, come on. Be noticeable. Don't be annoying, but be noticeable. That your skills, you're going to that extra mile, like you just said.
And you don't want to be a robot. Yeah. You know, like I've coached a lot of different types of kids, and some are like so well behaved and so good. It's like, yes, sir, no, sir, no, sir. And I'm thinking, it's okay to, you know, talk, back and forth. Are you really getting this, or have you just been taught by your parents to say yes, sir, and do all that with eye contact? So it's okay to have that personality. It's the blending of both.
Yeah.
That's the best. Keep your personality, but also verbalize when a coach is speaking to you that you understood what they're saying, or that you don't. Ask questions. I think that goes well with bosses, with any type of any type of business, right? I mean,
especially nowadays, you know, when you get the stare, or it's like, hey, come on, we're talking to you. You need to talk.
I love
back.
jamming kids up like that when they're the quiet ones and they're like, yes sir, no sir, and they're like, I'll be talking. I just look at them and go, dude, why are you yelling at me? What do you mean? I'm like, dude, calm down, relax. And they jams them up, but it loosens them up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then like another one, I'd be like, yo, I mean, hey, dude, do that thing you do. And they're like, what? And you do it to kids. You're like, do that thing. They're like, they have no idea. So they just start doing something. You're like, yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what you got to do. But also, it drives me crazy too, coaching. It's like, my daughter is a good example. She's a really good kid, but I bring her up as another example. We're in pitching lessons, and the pitching coach she's a very good high school coach for softball here in the mid-state. But she's telling her stuff and, giving her instruction, being really good about it. And my daughter's very respectful, but she's kind of just nodding along to everything she's saying. And then at the end, just keeps doing it. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Or just say, like, if you have a question, because I could tell if her head's swimming. I'm like, even if the answer is, I don't know what you're saying exactly, then clarify with the coach and do that, right? I mean, how far does that go if anyone just says, I'm not really following you right now on what you're saying?
Easy.
It's worth $1 million.
Yep. You break it down and you walk through
just
it.
Just clearly communicate it, and everyone's going to be better off for it.
It's very common sense stuff.
I think kids get
not
so
real
jammed up. They're like, I don't want to act like I don't want to say that. I don't want to be put on the spot. And you're like, you're right. As a coach, you want that. You want that.
Yeah, it's good to have people respond to you. But tell us about how you got into the coaching game. Like I remember in college days, you were running the intramural flag football team, and you had the plays drawn up. And
athletic chairman of the fraternity.
And you were telling some stories this morning about basketball. But how'd you get into softball and the youth sports area?
I think basketball is my number one sport in terms of I was probably best at it, and I like playing it the most, and I really like watching it too. I was a good baseball player growing up, not great, But it was one of those sports where I didn't love it to the same level as basketball. But if I'd have kept on with baseball, probably could have gone and played at a small college, somewhere, because it came a little bit more naturally than basketball did. But I just loved basketball. I mean, how I got into it was I didn't ever think when I had kids, I'm going to coach their little league teams and I'm going to coach a travel team. Like some parents, they have that. Inherently in them is like, I got to take control. I've got to do this. I think that I had just been coached by so many different types of coaches growing up, and so many different dad coaches, mom coaches, dugout moms, actual coaches, AAU coaches, everything, that I had a really good base of understanding of how to talk to kids and drills to run. I mean, like a lot of volunteer parents, they don't know how to start out. It could be soccer, it could be hockey, it could be basketball, softball, baseball, whatever. They just don't have that knowledge of here's a good drill to do something fundamentally. I always knew those, could go into it and do it. I think I pretty clearly communicate things with what my job is. So that part of it was very easy. I'm good with parents, that helps too. And understanding what they're looking for and what's going to help them psychologically.
Skills right there.
Yeah, I mean, all of that kind of helps. So I kind of fell into it, and then I saw things. I'm like, I should just be the head coach and do it. And the time commitment it is also when you're volunteering your time, to where it's like I have really good help with assistant coaches that I worked with the whole time, that are other parents that really get it and know it. So they were a huge help to me also. But, it's a great question, Greg. It's not one that I thought, hey, I need to do this, or I'm going to do it. I was born to lead or anything. It's kind of like the on-air stuff you just start doing, and it's like, oh, yeah, I've seen this a million times. This is how it should be done, and then doing it.
Yeah, because I know I see that a lot. And then during that time frame, and you're not going to make everybody happy. No. Yeah, that's the biggest thing too. Because you're like, I'm trying, and the work that you put into the time, like you just said, the practice plans you're doing, and all of a sudden you like, dude, you didn't care about that. I mean, come on, man, let's go.
And you're also thinking, how could this person not like me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you really do. You feel like, and I wish I had that power. I've gotten better at it the older I get. Some people just aren't going to like you, and that's fine. Whatever, okay. You move on. But I'm human. I want to be liked.
Yeah,
like 99% of people. Clay Travis, who I work with at Sport and State, I think his superpower, and he wrote about it in his welcome column, is he truly does not give a bleep what people think about him. And I mean, truly.
Yeah.
Like, he does not have, you can call it.
Profile pic says everybody hates Clay Travis. Right?
Yes. I mean, like, you could call it like being a sociopath, whatever you want to call it. Right. But like, he does not have that emotion of like, oh, you don't like me? Cool. He just moves on. He's going to give his opinion and keep going. Super intelligent guy. I wish I had more of that. I do want people to like me. I do feel like I'm doing all this for your kid, and I truly want them to succeed.
Yeah.
How could you not respect that or like me? You get over that pretty quick too. But there are times where, I feel slighted. I'm like, hey, I've coached this kid for a long time. A little bit more respect or appreciation.
Gratitude.
Just a little bit goes a long way. Like, how dare you? I'm volunteering my time. You are a parent who could be doing it.
Exactly.
If you've got these issues, then you can go, coach your team or do it, but you don't want to, because deep down, I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
So respect that and show some gratitude. That's something I feel as a parent volunteer coach that I'm pretty sure every coach could identify with, right?
I always say, if you are complaining about a parent coach, stop. Then you do it yourself. Then you get out there. Just go out there. It's so much time. It's so much work. And it's, like you said, it's not gratitude. There's no gratitude there. You're like, who cares? That's how I am, even more so. Like, the older I get, when I was younger coach, I'm like, that guy's, he's mad at me because I didn't bat his kid lead off. Oh, maybe I'll bat his kid lead off next time. No, the kid doesn't belong leading off. He's not leading off. End of story. Get to work. It's cool. And don't call me up or text me and go, hey, what you should do? You know what you should do? Don't text me. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And don't text me. Leave me alone.
I'm coaching with a guy right now. It's funny you bring that up, because I'm helping out with my 6-year-old daughter's team. They've just moved up in a league, and I coached that league for 3 years. And we did very well with our team. But it's a similar situation where we drafted all the young kids that I coached in T-ball, and I said, we're going to take it on the chin in the first season. They're going to be small. They're going to move up. I think we went 500 maybe the first year.
It's good.
Won all but 2 games the next season. Then the final season we're together. We go undefeated and win the league and finish second the second. But when they can grow together, it makes it so much better. You know the parents, you know the assistant coach, you can really get into a groove. So I'm in that mode right now where I'm not trying to be the parent that oversteps. The coach that coaches them is great. They won a T-ball championship. These girls are awesome. His 2 coaches are terrific. I'm just trying to help, but not be I'm like, hey, I can help in practice. I'm not trying to get out there during the game. I can go coach in the field if you want. You already have base coaches. But just today I'm texting him and I said, I'm going to bring a net out tonight that's got a target on it because I want to do the fence drill and I want to get them fundamentally throwing the ball better and I can do a fun game. If you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Are you cool with me? And he's like, and he's great. He's like, absolutely. Would love for you to do it. Here's what I'm thinking for the rest of practice. I'm like,
the communication
sounds awesome, But also, I never want to be that guy that's like, well, when I won the league 3 years ago, here's how we did it. I hope if that coach watches this or sees it, I hope he does, that he knows I'm not trying to be that guy also. Because you guys, that guy's annoying too.
He's awful.
Yeah.
He or she are awful. And
sometimes it's very helpful. Coaches who have done it longer, I love hearing from them on certain things, but when you just immediately start offering up your advice on something, I don't want to be that guy who does that.
Yeah. And you did it great too. You're like, hey, do you mind if we do something? And it's great. Then what happens with you and something that age group when you go undefeated, so you start winning, right? And then what happens is these parents start getting to this delusional land. Ooh, their kid is that elitist. And there you go, and they're gonna be. We're gonna do lessons, and he is or she is keep going. We're gonna try our ability to a different team, a better team, or a travel team. Ooh, and then that's what happens.
I think any parent that's in that delusional land got knocked into reality with our first scrimmage.
Okay, good.
Weekend, where they all left like wide-eyed, like they just saw a homicide live. Like, oh my goodness, this is what the step up is, because you got girls twice the size. Yeah. This is an 8U league, and all of our girls are just turning 6. So, I mean, they were getting line drives for the first time, hit at them. The outfield's getting some play for the first time. And you could see some of the parents like, oh, this isn't going to be like our nice undefeated, T-ball season, which I think is great. I mean,
they'll always remember
adversity is a great teacher, and they're only going to get better because they're doing it at a young age together. And then in 2 years, they're going to be the big older kids, so they're going to have their turn at some point also. But I think those parents are probably, they got a nice reality check.
A little humbled.
Yeah.
I do like what you're doing there too, is you're keeping the kids together, because it's families. It's you're growing, you got good families, good people that are around, you got great friendships. And, that's how me and Greg met. We'll become friends doing that because of our kids playing youth hockey. And it was just, he looked over at me, he goes, that guy sounds funny.
Well, he's like, we should host a podcast. That's the first time they met. Yeah.
That guy is way too loud. He must be from up north. And I was at first very annoyed and was like, good Lord. And then I heard him a little bit more. I was like, damn, that guy's hilarious.
See, I would have heard the accent, Greg, and immediately said, this guy knows hockey. Like, if I want my kid to be good at hockey, I'm like, I think this guy knows what he's doing.
Now, did you have any experience with the travel softball, or did you just stop at rec?
So I had a bridge between that. So in Mount Juliet, where I coach, they have like a rec all-star program. So I got asked to coach the B team of the rec all-stars in 8U, coach pitch ball. So I took all the young kids, like all the 7U eligible players, and they were the all-stars of the league. And we just really got along. The girls did really well. And then we started thinking, we should just do this. Let's just let them stay together. We'll come back and do it. Started a new organization. Ended up leaving that organization, went to another local organization after that. And most of the girls have really grown up together. Now, we just sort of had a split, not for any reasons that are nefarious. We just had different girls of different ages because we took some even younger ones at the time. Some are playing middle school ball. I know you know all about that. Yep. Some aren't. Some play 4 sports. Some play 1 sport. So it was time to sort of break it up into, all right, these are the girls who are playing a bunch of sports that don't need a full schedule during their other sports. They're going to need maybe 1 practice a week or 3 tournaments instead of 6. We want to start in the summer, in May, after middle school ball's over. And there are other girls that are still in elementary school that, need to be playing softball more. So that split naturally happened. But that's really how I got into it was, hey, we're competing with some of the club teams at a very young age, and we can do this. So why not just keep it together and keep it rolling?
As a coach, when you're doing this stuff, who's some of your mentors as a coach? And you go, I know you try certain things, and that didn't work, or that worked, or that's something. Me personally, as a coach, I take every coach that I've ever had, and I take little bits from them. I like I always say, well, that guy. I always say, coaches or parents or teachers are like fruit. They're like, fruit, the hell's wrong with you? One guy can give you vitamin C, but he lacks in vitamin D. This guy was great in vitamin D, but he stunk in vitamin C. So I always try to combine all the coaches I've ever had, and for me to try to be the best person that I am, because I account myself as a coach to every coach I've ever had in my life. Who are some of your coaches that you use for you?
Yeah, my high school basketball coach, Coach Tim Bell, is one that jumps out because I spent the most time with him. The assistant coach too, Jason Franklin, I had him in middle school ball. Then he became the high school assistant, so I had him from 7th grade through senior year of high school mostly. So those are two coaching influences that I can remember. But I mean, there were countless dads that would pick up and coach, because it was when I grew up, like travel ball wasn't a thing in the Mid-State. There was Twitty City.
Yep.
Right, based out of Gallatin and Hendersonville.
Yeah.
There were Shootiques. This was a baseball travel team. Like, you had to try out for one of those two teams with everybody in the state. And if you made it, I never tried out, but if you made it, you made it. If not, we had local town Little League All-Star teams.
And that's what it should say.
So I was good enough to always be on the Mount Juliet, Little League All-Star team. We'd go and travel and play a regional and play a state tournament. We played 2 tournaments. We'd practice all the time. We'd play 2 tournaments, but there were dads who were really good coaches. Phil Stinson is one that comes to mind that were really good, that I learned a lot from during that. And I think the biggest takeaway is, you talked about the fruit analogy with it. Every kid is different.
Yep.
And if you try to coach every kid the same, you're going to be unsuccessful. And there are kids you need to stay on because they don't have a great attitude, or they don't always listen, or they dog it at times because they're trying to prove a point that they're better than whatever you're saying. There are other kids who care too much. That you got to lay off of them a little bit. I was probably in the latter, the kid who cared too much, that would get in my head and lose confidence too easily. And the coaches that knew to back off, like, hey, he's going to kill himself over that mistake more than I need to, so just let it be. He knows what happened there. Those are the coaches that I really took a lot from. You just, it's great coming to be like, we're going to have one standard and we're going to treat everybody the same way. That's not reality.
No,
you need to have one standard for rules on the team, but also you've got to motivate, you've got to coach everybody differently on your team. And if you don't get that, I don't think you can be that much of a success.
Correct. I also believe, too, you have to do it fairly.
Yes.
Absolutely do it fairly. Yes, that superstar, yeah, listen, you got to coach him differently. Like you said, you can push him a certain way, but you just got to know the kid, the individual itself. But hey, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything because you're already on my team. That's not fair. Yeah. That's not fair. You have to be fair to everyone, because then what happens is your credibility as a coach is gone and everybody sees it. And then you're like, oh, okay. My always big thing is be fair to everybody. Give everybody the opportunity and be fair. Again, your coaching style is absolutely different to every kid, but be fair. And that's something that I
Well, another thing that's changed is back then when you had 2 travel teams.
Yeah.
That sounds
Now
like
there's
the 19th century.
hundreds of them.
Now you've got 2 in Hartsville.
Yeah.
Or more. It's probably more than that. I probably undershot. I mean,
Yeah, you
that's
did.
just a little town. I mean,
Good old Hartsville.
it's crazy. And also, like, the status of, this is a travel ball player, this isn't a travel ball player.
Oh, boy.
I mean,
It's a country club, like we
it's
said.
a very wide gap. Like, I can look at somebody and be like, oh, she plays travel, she's going to be good on this middle school team, or she's going to be really good in this rec league when she plays there for reps, right? And when you see that boy or girl, like, they're travel ball players, but it's a loose definition. When you see some travel teams, you run across.
Oh, boy.
Okay, you're technically on a travel ball team, but
it's a rec team.
I don't know that you're at the level yet that you want to be traveling every weekend to do this.
Well, I see it right now in travel baseball. Travel baseball was huge. You're like, this team was a travel team? Okay. Are you doing this for the money? Are you doing it for the money? I know you're doing it for the money. And then you have an A team, a B team, a C team, a Q team. And that Q team is like, Like, all right, that's a rec baseball team. You just threw it together because you want money.
It's gotten so political. Like all youth sports is now who's in the coach's favor, and you have plenty of rec stuff, and we love rec here. Just keep it simple, man. And everybody seems to have low expectations. But I did see some guys losing at the Williamson County soccer fields on Monday, just throwing water bottles on us. Like, dude, it's 14U rec soccer. Like, calm down. But nowadays, you almost have to be involved if you're doing more high-end travel stuff with politicking with the coaches and the other parents. And it's such a shame that you have to, as a coach, it's hard enough to get all these kids together to spend your time, and then you've got all these different voices coming in, and maybe they send you the text with the game plan or their their ideas, or maybe they just talk about you behind your back or send an email to the athletic
It's a great point. It's a great point. And the political side of it is going to exist no matter what. I was always probably unfair to a point when I'm coaching my oldest daughter to her. Because I was the coach who would err on the side of, I'm going to make an example out of my kid. Yep. My kid could get in a slight slump, and she goes from batting second in the lineup, where she probably should have been batting, to last. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that with other girls. I would give them more grace and that. But it was like, well, if she does it, then I'm pulling her out of the game. Because if they need to know that anybody can come out. So she probably got the bad end of that. It's funny because I was never accused of daddy ball by anyone. But I was accused by a couple parents of, you don't play daddy ball with your own kid. You play daddy ball with your assistant coach's kids. Time. And I'm like, I mean, maybe that's fair. Mm-hmm. Now, I would go through case-by-case basis and say, well, this girl is the best at this. And this girl, we can look at batting averages and on-base. I'm like, I'm showing you why I'm batting them where I am. But these are parents that are also volunteering their time. So maybe subconsciously, I'm like, I'm not going to do anything bad to their kid.
Because they're helping you out,
because they're helping me out, right? Like, but
it's frustrating.
That's something for coaches to guard against, but also you got to be self-aware enough to say, like, okay, that's a good note.
It's frustrating,
too. I'm like, maybe I am,
Because for you to show other parents, well, look, I'm doing this because of this. You're like, wait a second, why am I bothering? Even frustrating, and you get that. And daddy ball coaches.
But no one would ever accuse. You could accuse it. You would be dumb.
Yeah.
To accuse me of playing daddy ball with my own kid, I'm the opposite. I'm the hardest on my own kid out there. If there's the least bit of disrespect, they're going to hear about it. The rest of the team's going to hear about it.
Well, he won't
benching them quickly.
He won't send his own kid to the All-Star game, even if he deserves it, right?
And I cut my own kid on the travel team. We were putting together a travel team, and I cut him. And he looked at me. He's like, I said, yeah, I'm cutting him.
Hey, God bless you, man. But there's not enough people like that. I mean, there needs to be more of that. Well, now, you don't want to be the one that's screaming at your kid making a scene.
No, don't be the opposite. Yeah,
but also, you should be tough on your own kid.
Absolutely, you have to be. And there's I guess a TikToker or something. I always say, you're like, he shows the thing. He goes, hey, look, here's a dad coach. He goes, here you go, Johnny. Here you go. And then he goes, my kid. Let's go! Bang! And he drills the ball at him. You're like, yeah, that kind of was me. Let's go. You expect. And it's also, and I always tell my son too, over the years, I said, if I'm your coach, you're looked upon. I go, because if you act a certain way, you act up in front of everybody, they're looking at you and going, well, I can act up like a fool too. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be harder on you than anybody else. But again, you have to be, and I had a great assistant coach with me, and his name was Rusty Smith, ex-quarterback for the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. Super. I learned a lot from him, and he's a great guy. He said, Seth, if your kid is hands down not the best player out there, don't send him to the All-Star game. Even if he deserved it, but he wasn't the absolute best player out there, and I wouldn't send him to the All-Star game. And that was it. And one year, he did deserve it. And he looked at me, he said to me, and this meant so much that he did this to me. He goes, I don't want to go. Send the other kid. He's never went before. I'm like, you serious? He goes, yeah. He goes, he's never went before. Let him go. I'll coach with you, Dad. And sure enough, he was my first base coach during the All-Star game. Oh, my.
I love that kid. I love that. Now, it's not going to prevent a fight with your wife when you get back home.
Oh, she don't care.
About, hey, you're being unfair to our own kid. That's something that I've thought also. But, yeah, I mean, you've really got to guard against it. And to earn that respect, you got to show that you're willing to, whatever you're saying, you better be willing to do with your own kid.
Yep.
And then some.
Yeah. And they look at him, and they're looking at him. And parents, you don't think parents are looking at? That's the worst. And the parents, Little Johnny's sitting batting first again, huh? All right, and he hasn't got a hit all season. Well, he's still batting first. I'm sorry, but yeah, I've seen those. I've seen both ends on it. I mean, for over the years that we've been doing it.
So what would you do different the second time around if you decide to coach softball again? Are there any coaching lessons you think you've learned?
Boy, that's a great question. I think setting the expectations, I got better at this as I went along, but I think setting the expectations very early on of what it was and how it was going to be would be really good. Now you can talk to your blue in the face about certain things like, hey, your kid's not, we're going to swap out, certain innings. They're going to play every other inning, or people, when we get into competitive situation in bracket, we're not going to bat everybody. You can say that, but when it's your kid that's not batting, they're going to get mad. Mm-hmm. Parents will, no matter what. I think that I've come so far from when I started, in like the T-ball ranks to now. This sounds really arrogant, but I don't know that there's a lot of things that I would change or do differently. Surround yourself with good people, right? Like, you need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that have the same goals. Mm-hmm. Quite frankly, you probably need to surround yourself with people that your kids are on the same talent level. If you're going to coach with somebody, like, it can't be this wide gap, of like my kid's here or my kid's here and their kid's there, or vice versa. Like, it needs to be pretty similar. Everyone's on the same path type thing. When we went to this new travel team, and I kept saying this, and this is something I would reiterate if I did it again to answer your question. Long way to answer the question. I want a team, if I'm going to go and coach travel ever again, with no weak links. And what I mean by that is every kid I've coached is a good kid, right? I've coached some terrible parents before. We all have. I would not, spit on them if they were on fire. Certain parents, right? We've all encountered that. Yeah. But the kids I've loved, and the kids have tried, and it's been a great experience. Kids are inherently good, but if you can get in a situation if you're going to really do the travel thing or the club thing, I always say, I want a team with no weak links. And what I mean by that is, kids are going to struggle. Like, you're going to be the weak link on one weekend or another. It's inevitably going to happen. I don't care how good you are. Yep. Shohei Ohtani was the weak link on his team in Japan. Yeah. Growing up, at some point, right, he struggled. But the point is, you've got a good enough team where somebody else can pick it up and lift him up. Somebody else can do this. I don't want to – it's tough to be in a situation where you've got, a bunch here, some here, and then you're constantly trying to make sure you're appeasing – by playing everybody a certain amount or doing that, right? Like, and that's no disrespect to any kid or anything. That's just in any sport at any level, that's the goal. Mm-hmm. I don't know that, I'm at that now with the team that my daughter's on. I don't know if we ever had that in travel. We had a great experience. I love the parents that I coached. I love the kids even more. Mm-hmm. And we did it for the kids. But it's really tough to get to that where it's like you feel like, everybody's kind of the same. The parents all have the same goals for their kids. They have the same appreciation for the coaches and what they're doing. They pitch in. It's tough to get to that, but that would be my ideal situation. To do anything again, I would only want to do it if I knew that was the case.
I love that line. I did it for the kids, and that's perfect. And the great parents pitching in, and that. I mean, that's a unicorn because that's something
it's almost
special.
Like you have parent tryouts.
You do, you do. I mean, unfortunately, you do. If the kids is pretty
but the
much
parents who act like what you need to do something for me to the coach, and I'm thinking like, on what planet? Like, you're here, you went and got Subway and came back, or you're sitting out in your car. Great, like do that all you want. Like when we got going and got really competitive with travel, I would tell the parents, we're going to have a practice where you drop them off and leave. Or we need a practice where you stay there and they're not looking to mom and dad in the stands. And our parents would abide by that for the most part, right? But also, you can't do that regularly and not offer up anything and just act like you're owed something. Yep. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to parents out there, like and if you've ever coached, I'm sure you guys are great about this, you are respectful and thankful to the coach who's putting their time in to do it. Like, it goes the other way. Like, you owe them. They're not getting paid.
Yeah.
They're the ones putting in the time for your child.
Yeah.
It doesn't flip the other way around. You're not owed anything as the parent. I think parents need to understand that really badly.
Well, I think also you nailed it too, and that's something that I'm going to try to push for if I still keep going doing what I'm doing with baseball. I'm going to push for closed practices. My son's football team, he plays football, and the law is on that, drop your kid off and go. Closed practices. And you know what? There's this new thing, not game changer, but it's called the huddle.
Diagrams. You can't film it. You can't tell anybody.
Nope. Just you have this thing called the huddle now, and they can't. The football team has it, and they're going to pass it on to the basketball and the volleyball, and we can use it for baseball. It's just the stands. It has a camera, and if you want to watch your son's or daughter's practice, you watch it on that, and that's it. Because then what happens is they're there, they're watching, and they're like, "What is you doing?" And the kid's looking at the dad. You're like, "No, man, I got you here. Your parents dropped you off. Go get some Subway. Go get some Dunkin' Donuts, and then come back in about 2 hours, and I'll see you."
It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful, and that's, I mean, in growing up, that's the way sports were for me. Like once you got to school ball, I never had a single parent in the stand for middle school basketball or baseball on up, right? Like that just wasn't a thing that you saw. And I think so many kids now, and it's not the kid's fault, but they're coached by a parent, you know, when they're little, and then once they move on, they're always, "Ooh, I swung at a bad pitch. I'm going to look over at my parent. I'm going to look here. I'm going to, you know." I'm blessed that my kid barely listened to me when I was coaching, so she doesn't do that now. I could go to her practice, another coach. She's not looking to the side to see my reaction. She might look at mom occasionally just to see her response, but she's not looking to me for guidance. She's coached by a different middle school ball coach now, and she's not looking to me, which is great. Yeah. That's what you want is they're your coaches. We have you on this team now for a reason. Listen to those coaches. If we ever get in a situation where we need to move teams, we'll do that after the season. It's a season-long commitment. We want to be here long-term. I think if you go into it with that mentality, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. I know we had James on the show last week. Last week, and he was saying, he goes, I said, "Well, how do you deal with kids, you know, they're playing hockey and they look over and their dad's giving signs?" You know, and he's like, "Oh man, dude," and it's terrible. It is. I mean, it's a real thing.
And that dad is not going to handle it well when you tell him to stop. I mean, that's the thing, you know. Like any dad who's giving signs to the kid is probably not going to handle it well. If you go like, "Hey, knock it off," you know, don't do that, right? Yeah. Like that's never going to be a good interaction.
Then he's going to unleash the speech for you that he's been working on. "Listen, you need to change this." He's going to go crazy.
I scored 4 touchdowns in one game, like Al Bundy over here. That's what he's going to say.
So take us back a little bit. One of the things, you've done everything, man. It's really cool, jack of all trades and master of all of them well. But when you started this high school football website, right? Like, what got you into that? And you obviously love football, cover it all the time. But what made you think that there was a market for that? And how did you decide to take the leap?
You know, Murphy Fair was a good friend of mine starting out in broadcasting who is legitimately passionate about the sport. You know, he stopped doing his annual yearbook now, but still does some TSSAA broadcasts and does all that. Love Murphy Fair. But his physical copy of it, and I loved it. I got it every year that it came out. There needed to be something digitally right at the time. Like the internet had been around for a while, and there just wasn't a lot of great websites that covered high school football. And I didn't play high school football. I played other sports, but I loved it, and I really got a passion for it and loved it at 104.5 The Zone when I did the show there for it. And I said, you know, if anybody's going to do it, I might as well do it and try it. So we started seeing highschoolfootball.com. My broadcast partner, Chris Eakes, and I had prepweekly.com and a website also to go with that. And it was just a lot of fun. And I think, you know, it's amazing when you're covering a high school sport, how open the coaches are to, we want to help you out. We want to give you information. We want to get our kids publicized, right? If I could be the player of the week on a website growing up, which we didn't have when I was playing, that would have been amazing. Yeah, I would have done any interview. You know, I'd hope my coach would go to bat for me as that. And then you really understand that these coaches, they still do that to this day, which I'm thankful for. But that was really the genesis of it, was needing a website to go with it. Now, a lot of different sites do things now for it, which is great. But, you know, at the time, it was more of that. And then when I went away from it, it was really just the bandwidth of it. I got young kids at home. I didn't want to spend every Friday night from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. on air doing a scoreboard show and a live in-game update show. So that went away. And then now this year I decided I'm going to do it again. So I'm doing a game of the week each week for UCR, which is a newer media company out of Cookeville. And we're going to do a Midday game of the week with Jonathan Hutton.
Oh, wow.
Starting with Brentwood at Smyrna this Friday night.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's really just a desire I want to get back around it. I want to call games. I've done the state championship game since 2010 for the statewide broadcast. I really need to see more of the teams that I'm going to call in the game. So it's going to be fun. I look forward to getting back out at games on Fridays will be huge.
So you're gonna be out there. You can do a lot of film work then. I'm sure
it's going to be all digital. You know, and they've got the Upper Cumberland Reporter does a terrific job. They've got a full camera crew of Tennessee Tech students. We've got a young woman who's going to be the sideline reporter who just graduated from Tennessee Tech. Hutton and I show up and we call the games.
That's cool.
You know, which is really cool to do. And just getting around that environment again is going to be awesome. Because keep in mind, like Friday nights, I felt the environment. I was in a studio on Demonbreun.
Okay.
You know, the whole time. I wasn't at a game. I was there the whole night doing something. There were years where I could go to a game and leave at halftime to get back for the after show. But it was really just became a passion.
Well, I tell you, here when I first moved here from New York, you hear the words Friday Night Lights and the energy and everything with that. And I actually went back to an old picture on Facebook that I had, and it was 2016, and my son is like a little peanut, and my daughter was there, and we were at Franklin versus Centennial game. We have pictures of it. And man, it was something surreal. The Friday Night Lights was real. You know, our games were Saturday mornings, Saturday afternoons. It was nice and everything out in Long Island, but no. I remember watching one game, that first game, and I called my buddy back home because they're still my friends. I said, these guys would kill us. I go, the offense is what they run, and how just this is awesome. This is real football. Friday Night Lights is a real thing, and I'm like, this is crazy.
It's unbelievable, and it's really gotten worse. Not the talent, like the coaching and the playing. I mean, these guys, everyone has. It's like a cheat code in an old Nintendo game. Like everybody knows the diet now, knows the workout plan, like what young athletes have now, and the way they can watch themselves on video, do a workout, practice, game, anything. That level of self-evaluation I never had. Like how much better we all could have been. I mean, this is a beer league podcast. We can talk about how great we could have been. But how great would it have been if we could have watched every single frame of every practice, every movement you did, everything you did in whatever your sport was. It's remarkable. The players have never been better. Coaching's never been better. But I will say, the community pride, not the same.
No.
You know, when I started covering high school football in 2004, fresh out of college, way better. Way better, like even at a Centennial or a Franklin or a Brentwood, way better then than it is now. Now, you can still go to, I'll mention Hartsville again, to a Trousdale County game, to a Cumberland County game, these smaller communities, and you get that everybody in the town.
Shuts down and they go.
Yeah, little kids go to the game, and it's really cool to see, which I'm looking forward to calling some games like that this year too.
Well,
I mean, Greg went to Gallatin. So Gallatin was one of those towns, right? That, I mean, everybody, when you're a small kid, your parents might get season tickets.
Yeah.
They don't have a kid playing on the team, but you'd go to the games.
And they got the seats. They got real seats. Not sitting on a bench. I sit on a bench. My back hurts. I'm like, can I get that seat? You got to donate.
I think the difference now is the arms race that we're always talking about. Like here, we got the top 20 teams here in Tennessee, and the private schools have drifted to the top, right? You got Baylor. There's some good players on Baylor. You got that running back that's committed to Tennessee, and the quarterback, Croucher, he's going to Ole Miss. Some studs on there, and you got Brentwood Academy, another private school. So
Keyshawn Bowman going to Tennessee, yeah.
And then BGA, let's go BGA. They got a big game this weekend. They're going down to Mobile to play St. Michael's, and that's where Phillip Rivers coaches. And so his son is playing
TV,
quarterback.
Right?
Yeah, and so I think the community, like the public school, the 6A has changed a little bit. But the private school it's crazy. And so that's one of the things we were curious about, your perspective of like, with the NIL era in college, it's totally changed everything. I almost like high school football more because you can only transfer once and it's a pure thing, but it trickles down, right? I mean, now you've got collectives in high schools and stuff. What do you think has changed now that you're going to cover it again versus 10, 15 years ago about the players and how they position themselves junior year, sophomore year to either transfer to one of these powerhouse private schools or to, finally do a commit, whether it's a hard or soft commit, you never quite know until camp these days. Mm-hmm. But what has changed in the high school recruitment game?
Well, a lot has changed, and you got the transfer rule. And if you show the graphic again of everybody, that's up there in the top, all of those teams, right? There's money involved, even if it's not cash for a player. It's, Brentwood Academy, we can offer you this much in a scholarship or this much, financial aid or whatever it is. At Baylor, you can come live on campus if you're from Quebec, like David Gabriel Georges, right? And you can come play. Marshall Manning, Peyton's son, you can go there. The biggest divide in the transfer rule has really changed the game because you can transfer once anywhere. So a lot of the smaller programs that don't have as much success, well, I can go with the bigger program in town and get 2 or 3 of their best players. And while that's going to help my depth and my team, it's going to destroy the other team's program, right? Like in my town, Mount Juliet, there's a Mount Juliet Christian Academy. There was recently a ruling where they were trying to merge with Republic, which is a charter school, to have a joint football team that would be MJCA, but they could take Republic students. Well, it got shot down by the
team. Can of worms right there.
It was 6-6 on the votes, and they couldn't pass it. Their football program is destroyed, likely. Like good or bad, like either you can field a team or you can't. They have 17 players, right? So I don't know what they're going to do with that. My kids go to Donaldson Christian Academy. I'm on the board there. Love the school. Love everything they're about. But schools like that, like you've got to make the decision. How much do you want to compete, right? Like we're BGA's in a bit of a bigger, private school subdivision. DCA's in the smallest. Well, they're going to compete fine in that, but how do you really want to compete? Because there might be another school out east or out west that's going to put even more into athletics. I think every school, public and private, now has to ask that question: how exactly do we want to go about it? Used to be it was just cyclical, right? Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, well, Mount Juliet's down right now, but they got a great 7th grade class and they're killing everybody on the freshman team. They're going to be good. Well, now those freshmen are going to go somewhere else. Yeah. And if you're an afterthought in high school football, I hate it for those programs because there's just no getting better. There's no idea of, well, everybody's going to stay in town and come up and be good. They might go to a private school. They might go across town to another school. That part of it I don't love.
I'm seeing a weird trend too, because back in the day, kids would leave public schools to go to a private school. Now I'm seeing kids leave public school to go to another public school. Yep. And like what you just said,
or private school to go to public school.
Yeah, and that's happening too. They're going the opposite way. But what I'm seeing too, and from what I'm hearing, there's been a big turnover in baseball too. Centennial High School. Like that, a lot of their top players are leaving. They left baseball and they went to Independence. They went to Page, just because of the talent. I guess those are better teams, and I guess that's happening even in football too more. I don't know. I just it's a very weird scenario. When does it stop? When does it stop?
I don't know that it does. Like
6th grade.
I'd like to say that
4th grade.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a cutoff valve for any of it. And I know us old people, we blame social media for everything. Yeah. But I'll blame social media a little bit for this. And for this reason. When we grew up, which again, very get off my lawn statement, but when we did, like your world was your world. I wasn't going to leave Mount Juliet High School because every friend I knew growing up was at Mount Juliet High School.
Correct.
I couldn't go on Instagram and DM some girl that was 3 towns over. We didn't know what girls look like in other high schools. You go to college and it opens up your world, right? Yeah. And you meet people from different schools and you have a different friend network and all that. But your world was your world. You didn't think about going to a rival school. That was your rival. You didn't think about doing this because you just didn't do it. Nowadays, because of social media, these kids can be connected all the time. Doesn't matter if you leave. Yeah. You can go from Brentwood to Franklin or Centennial to Ravenwood, because I'm still going to be friends with everyone that follows me on Instagram. Yep. They're going to see everything I'm doing. I'm going to see everything they're doing. There's no care about the school. It's about what coach can put me in the best situation to go to college or where we can win more games. That's what parents are thinking. And when they present that to the kid isn't saying, Mom, Dad, I can't go there because all my friends are at this school. Doesn't matter. You can still be friends with them today. Yeah. That wasn't the case.
That's true.
Back in the day. So I blame social media for some of this.
That's a great analogy. I like it.
That's a rant.
That is a rant. We should have put you on that rant. But also, too, it gives a lot of pressure on a kid if they go somewhere. Like now your expectations are high. You better perform. You better perform. What happens if he doesn't perform? You're like, this kid just transferred in and he stinks. You know, but there's a lot of pressure, and I'm sure the parents, you know, obviously they're playing puppeteer. You know, my kid can get a D1 scholarship. Oh boy, I see it every day. You're like, and it's getting younger
in
and
football,
younger.
it's so much more important because you are recruited off your high school program.
Yeah.
I think with the other sports, you know, if you're good enough, you're going to get recruited off your AAU or club team in basketball. Yeah. You're going to get recruited in travel baseball or travel softball
Perfect
more than
game.
your school team. Yeah.
For perfect
They're going to look
game
at those stats. They're going to go recruit you more in the summer anyways.
Yeah.
But for football, yeah, I mean, I get it. If I don't have a son, but if I did, and he was a great edge rusher, and, you know, Oakland High School came to me and said, hey, we think he can start by his junior year. And, you know, our last 6 starters at that position have gone SEC or Division I scholarships. Like, okay.
Where do we sign?
Yeah, I mean, hey, kid, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to come back and say, well, I can't leave my friends because they're all on their phone.
Exactly.
All their friends. So, yeah, let's do it.
They're texting each other anyway at night.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
My son played a football game last Thursday. It was last Friday. They played, Grassland. And there's a kid on that team that was just phenomenal. And they kept saying his name over and over the radio. And I'm like, is that Robert Sala's son, the coach? And he was dominant. I think he had about 38 tackles that game. I mean, he played tight end, he played defensive end, and all he did, he was just nonstop, just a wrecking force. A total wrecking force.
It's amazing what all the Titans and former Titans, when their kids came to the ranks, like I remember covering all these kids in high school football, right? My buddy his kid goes to Franklin Road Academy, FRA, and he's got Matt Castle's son on the team. Like, he was going through the list of former Titans that play on the team. It's incredible to see that. And it really did help high school football in high school sports.
High school sports.
In the mid-state.
Well, here too, it's a very, I mean, people want to move back here. You know, people that do, everyone wants to come to Tennessee. I mean, let's be honest. It's a great state. It's a great, look,
Income tax.
No income tax. And, you know, we up in New York, I didn't want to be up there anymore. Thank God. You know, I'd have to work 2 jobs just to make it what I had, but taxes and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Down here, it's great. I mean, and plus everybody, like you always see so many NHL players that retired here, NFL players retired here. And even MLB players that retire. I know a couple of them. And it's like, this is a great place to live, you know. And then guess what? The kid's an athlete too. You know, you don't think that a professional athlete's kid is going to be good or not? No, he's going to be pretty darn good in any sport. You know, there's a kid that I know, this kid, father played baseball. He's a hell of a hockey player. They're going to be good in something, whatever they decide to do. It might not be the sport their dad played, but yeah, most of the time, for sure, they're going to be good.
Yeah, well, you've got Philip Rivers' son. He's got, how many sons does he have? He's got 10 kids, right?
Yeah, he's got his own football team.
Imagine that. And he's going up against Luke Bryan's son in the BGA game down in Mobile. So that they're both quarterbacks. That'll be an interesting one. But what made you want to jump back into the high school space?
Just missed it. You know, just missed Friday nights, just missed being a part of it. And good opportunity, you know, with UCR. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And Jonathan Hutton, my broadcast partner, wanted to do it as well. So gives us something fun to do on a Friday and to go to games. Doesn't really interrupt anything with my kids' sports. They're not doing anything on Friday night anyways, usually, except for practice. So, and not coaching travel ball. You know, that's the big part of it too, where maybe a little different if I've got an 8 a.m. practice the next morning to get ready for, to go to a high school football game. But yeah, that was the thinking behind it.
That's a free time now. That's it. You know, free time now. You're bored. You're like, I want to do something else.
Family wants me out of the house, to be quite frank. I'm the one, you know, male in the house with 3 girls. So
exactly.
Any chance I get out, they're party time. You know, once Dad's out of the house.
Well, speaking about that too, so you're doing that with the high school football and everything, and then now today was a special day, like we touched on it a little bit earlier today. You know, your new podcast that you had. I mean, you got a lot of, you know, stuff in the fire, right? A lot of irons in the fire right now. So tell us more about how that started and that decision. How'd that go?
So in 2021, I turned down a really good offer from 104.5 The Zone to stay in a contract extension to do local radio, to go, once the contract was up, to go to Clay's company, Outkick. At that point, Outkick had been a media company for 10 years. Now, what I did not know was that Clay, 3 months into me signing a contract, was going to sell Outkick to Fox and Fox News, which was fine. I mean, and Clay made a ton of money doing that, right? But I did not know that was going to happen. Now, I was able to stay with Outkick, and I'm thankful for it for the next 5 years after that, after he sold to Fox. But when I signed on with Outkick, I really signed to work for and with Clay, who I've known since 2007, not to work for any, giant corporation or anything like that. But when he decided that, okay, the 5 years with Outkick was up after the sell and he was going to start something new, I knew that's where I was going to end up, right? I mean, it was really a no-brainer. So that's really how it all came about. And we've been preparing for this for the last 2.5 months since we've been off air. And yeah, today, August 19th, 7 a.m. Central Time was the launch of the new show. Went pretty smooth, knock on wood. I mean, and you guys know in what you do, like building an audience online is difficult. And everybody seemingly starts from scratch.
Yeah,
and
I think I was 89th follower on this new Instagram channel. And that's pretty exciting here. And the YouTube channel is starting at 0. It's like...
Yeah, and that's Clay's. Like Clay starts at 0. So we actually were able to get our YouTube channel back from Outkick. So we have a little bit more of a head start with around 5,000 subscribers. But even with that, like just bringing people to your show, it's a process for anyone who does it. Clay knows how to do it as well as anybody on earth, certainly in this country. So working with him, getting his expertise on it's going to be a huge help. But even with the network that we have and the other shows that have signed up to be on it, I knew like this is going to be legit. The Next Round Live out of Birmingham has done it for years. They started their own company. They left Cumulus Radio, corporate radio, the way we did, and they started their own thing. They didn't go to work for Clay then. They've been very successful doing that. So Kelly Stewart, Ariel Epstein, the prop queen, going to be really good at sports wagering and that piece of it. Their show is going to start a little bit later this afternoon, in fact, as we record this. But it was a no-brainer, to go and do this. So we're excited about it. It's going to be every day. We're back to doing 10 hours a week, on air. So training that muscle again to get in that daily routine and get up at 5:30 to start reading and getting ready for the day, when you go on at 7 a.m. That's going to be fun. But, yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's a good start.
That's awesome. Oh, my God. That's really, really cool.
How do you think it'll be different from Outkick, if at all? I mean, what's the vision? It's a little bit of a new, kind of like coaching on your second ride. Like, what do you think is going to be the difference?
I mean, Clay's not going to be different, right? Like, Clay is Clay. Clay's going to give you his authentic, 100% honest opinion. And if it's getting a lot of play, he's going to keep hammering that opinion home, right? The political side of which I'm not an overly political person to begin with. The politics will be handled by Clay and Buck. Their show is going to be a video element, middle of the day. That's going to be the political side. He hired the other show. He didn't hire me or Hutton to talk about the New Jersey Senate race. We're going to talk about the Alabama quarterback battle. We're going to talk about George McIntyre or Faison Brandon. We're talking SEC. We're talking NFL. When sports and culture and politics intersect, we're going to talk about it and not be afraid to give an opinion that another boss at another company might fire us for because we know we're not getting fired for that opinion with Clay. But we're not hired to talk politics. He'll handle that. He'll be him. So I think how the company is different is, it's not owned by Fox News. I'll just, say it how it is. Like it's not, the people that he hired are going to be themselves.
And that's cool.
Some of them might be more of themselves than people ever realized that followed them before, right? They're like, oh, I didn't know this was a side of them. That's not me. Like, I feel like if you've watched me or listened to me over the years, I'm going to be pretty much the same. And I'm going to give strong opinions and I'm going to be passionate about certain things. And I'm not going to give a damn about other things, that other people care about.
I love it.
But it's not, no one's going to force me to care about something I don't care about, right?
And
that's the way the viewer is too. They should be that way. Like, why are you getting worked up about this? Why would I get worked up? If you don't, then that's great. We can agree to disagree on it.
Yeah, you always have to watch what you say sometimes.
But Clay is a First Amendment diehard guy. Like he would never, even if you came on his show and gave the biggest left-wing, conspiracy theory, whatever, like he is not going to hire someone and ever fire them for something they say, if it's an opinion, right? So that's appealing too, I think, to a lot of people. And Clay's going to give you that freedom, and he hired us to be us, and we're very grateful for it.
It's authenticity, right? And in the age of AI, it's getting harder and harder to find, right? So the corporations are almost as bad as the government now with all the bureaucracy and stuff.
It is 100% inauthentic. I mean, I can say this for someone who has worked for two major companies and corporations. Like, it's not all across the board that way, but there are instances where you're being told something or fed something, it's like, this is just complete BS. You know, like we all see what's going on here. And if you're smart at all, you can't handle the BS part of it. And that's the part we don't have to deal with Clay as a boss. You know, Clay is going to be Clay. He's going to share all of his opinions. He's going to do it on his show, but he's never going to tell us to share one of his opinions. Correct. He's never going to tell us to agree with one of his opinions if we disagree, right? If we agree, great. But if not, I mean,
be you, man.
He's got this thing where it's SOFA, smart, original, funny, authentic. That's what he wanted at Outkick. With anyone he hired, that's what he wants at Sport and State. And it's a pretty good spot to start, you know, any podcast, any media endeavor, smart, original, funny, authentic. If you can do those 4 things, you got a chance to be successful.
Very cool. He's writing it down.
I'm writing it down. Hey, listen, why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah.
You know, really.
I mean, the guy sold for, you know, $100 million or whatever it was.
I like
so
that.
he's done well. So, yeah,
and
I
he
take
made
notes too.
A big donation to Vanderbilt Law School for the First Amendment Center to get people debating again, which is good because sometimes it's just people talking past each other and it's crazy. So kudos to Clay for doing all that stuff. You know, well, what's your vision for it? What are you hoping? Are you guys going to just stick around Tennessee? Are you going to go to some live events? You guys were talking about LSU earlier today. That's a silly thing, but we're actually going down to the Grove here in September.
Nice.
In a month
for that game.
Yeah.
And we're going to live stream down there.
Are you going to be there too?
Yeah, we'll have to hang out.
Okay.
I think we're going there. So we're going to do some things around Clay's big noon kickoff schedule because he still does a lot of work with Fox News and Sports. So he appears on some of the biggest SEC games on big noon kickoff. Okay. So I think we're going to be at the Tennessee-Texas game in September.
Nice.
In Knoxville. Alabama at Tennessee in October. And right now, and probably more, but LSU and Ole Miss.
Okay.
So we will do some special events. I mean, the vision for it, Greg, is we want as many people that like what we're doing to watch, you know, and follow as possible. And we want to be one of the driving voices in SEC sports.
Love it.
You know, like if you ask me what we want to do, like we really want to hit, if we got a 2-hour show, 45 minutes of that needs to be really good on college sports, SEC, Big Ten opinion, whatever it is. But like we really want to be seen as these guys are really good on the SEC. They're really good when they go into the NFL also. And I like what they say when culture and everything intersects. That's the goal. I think that's a goal for most too.
That's all. I know when I first moved down here, I guess the SEC, you know, I mean, we watch on TV. We're from New York and we got smack there. You know, Notre Dame, Penn State, that was our biggest thing. And then when I came down here, the first 2 questions people always ask me, what church you go to and what's your SEC team?
What's your college team?
Exactly.
And if it's not SEC, people are blown away.
Well, I said Rutgers. They're like, what the hell's a Rutgers?
I am a converted Lutheran because my wife was Lutheran. So to marry her, I had to become a Lutheran. Which is basically Reformed Catholics. They're all Midwestern. Like I go to a church in Brentwood, and I think I'm one of 3 SEC fans there. You'd fit right in. You know, everybody, first off, their college team, it's Michigan or Wisconsin or Nebraska. You know, it's all of those teams out in the Midwest, and not a lot of SEC love there. But our show will have a lot of SEC love, that's for sure.
Well, I had to become a fan. So I had a good friend of mine would always take me to Ole Miss game and the Grove, and I'm down. And they're like, "Hey, look, go ahead, talk."
Easy to fall in love with the Grove. Easy to fall in love with the Grove. Holy cow, what a place!
But I was like, I became Ole Miss fan, and now I dabbled a little bit with the what do you call it, with Vandy because there's no expectations. Like, hey, Vandy.
They got expectation now.
Now they do.
Clark Lee's talking about being pissed about a 10-win season. I love it. He's like, we didn't do enough last year.
I love
We
that.
still don't get enough respect. They're picking us, close to last in the conference. So Vandy's, they've got it figured out where they've got good leadership now. They're spending money, smart coaches. They're going to be good. Basketball is going to be really good, I think, for a while.
Yeah.
As long as they keep Mark Byington, they're going to be good too.
Well, and now I had to become a UK fan.
Okay.
Because my daughter goes to UK. Nice. So I'm a cat
Congrats.
now. Meow.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Meow.
yeah.
So she's there, and she's a senior right now, and she's having fun. We'll talk off after what she's doing now, but it's kind of cool. And like we went there, and I go, yeah, this is it. This is the place you want to go. And she's like, yeah, let's go. So her major was you can interchange, and it's okay. We get in-state tuition for that, so that was always a good thing,
great.
Yeah. So now I'm a Cats fan. Let's go Cats for a while. So.
No.
God bless you.
Yeah, I know, right? And we were supposed to go up there. We had a hockey tournament coming out right after the weekend. We're going to go to the Grove, but they canceled it. So now we're going to Detroit.
I like Will Stein, the coach at Kentucky, so I think he's going to do good things.
Oh yeah, they say he's going to have a good team this year, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's have it. But no Will Levens, right?
Yeah, none of that. No.
But all right, anyway, so I tell you what, I mean, now on your show, you guys going to be doing any fantasy footballs and stuff like that? Because that's a whole.
I mean,
big
there's
thing
going to
now.
be, sports wagering is going to be a part of it. I know Clay had mentioned Hard Rock Bet is really the one partner that's going to be a part of this network. So we will do, some sports wagering stuff. I'm full disclosure, I'm terrible at betting on sports. I just feel like I'm better at like saying something's going to happen, and when I put money on it, usually don't work out. But if I just say it, it happens. I'm really good at predicting bad when I put money behind the prediction. But yeah, I mean, we're going to do a lot more research into that world and do a little bit more. But we're probably going to have a fantasy football league we've done in the past and draft together with just viewers of the show. That's been a lot of fun, but there'll be a little bit of that, but not a ton.
Yeah, we had a little fantasy.
Well, you quit the fantasy football league.
It bothers me.
Because you didn't show up for the draft last year, and we started it without you. Because
what kind of garbage is that?
So the only reason to be in a draft to me, or in a league, is the draft.
Absolutely.
Like it's the fellowship. It's the excuse to get together for 3 hours on a Thursday night or whatever. Like that's the reason.
Yeah. So you should show up on time, especially when people move it back an hour for you, and you're still late.
Yeah, I told you. I said, hold on. We were in traffic, and you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait.
You know where
30 minutes.
He was in Mount Juliet, of all places.
Yeah, it was.
And he couldn't make it.
So just having driven from there, it can be tough.
Yeah,
it can be a tough drive.
Thank you very much.
Got to kind of side with you on that. It's a tough one.
Selfish.
Oh my God!
Needed to do it. We had to hurry up.
And then he wanted to trade all his good players to his son.
Yeah, I did.
He took his ball and went home.
I did.
And so
True
I
loving
don't think-
fathers. All that is.
And
Daddy ball.
And the trade backfired on him, and my guys were good.
Yeah, so he quit. He's out of it.
But also, I hate rooting against my team. I'm a Buccaneers fan. I love Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So one year I decided I just drafted all Buccaneers. I didn't care.
So we were just down there for SEC kickoff media days in Tampa, and they had a media party at the Bucs Stadium.
Okay.
That place it's built, I think, right around the same year or a year before the Titan Stadium was.
Correct.
Same architecture firm.
Yes.
Like it is
Without
a
a boat.
spitting
Yeah, the
image.
boat. Yep.
Other than the doll houses, they have their own version of it, which is like different weird houses.
Yes.
They got the boat. It is the old Titan Stadium, but it's more well kept.
Yeah.
Like it is nicer. The suite areas, like they've done some better renovations in Tampa.
Yeah.
I think then, of course, now they're building a new stadium here in Nashville. Yeah. But I was blown away. I'm like, I feel like I'm walking into Adelphia Coliseum back in the day when you walk into that stadium.
I always said the same thing. I go, this is exactly the old the new sombrero.
Location's not great. It's not like it's downtown.
Del Mavry, it's a little
the
off.
Yankees spring training is right across the street.
Yeah.
But
I used to go to the games with the old place, the old sombrero, and they had benches, and you had spray paint numbers, and your back was hurting you, and thing was just a big fish bowl, almost this big bowl, terrible.
Tampa though is a cool place.
It's a great place,
cool town,
great city, great city, but yeah. So that's why I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand that fantasy football stuff because it's like gotta pick my team, and I can't.
Yeah, I don't think people want to hear you talk about fantasy.
Yeah, because you know why? I don't like it.
Yeah, nobody talk about it. If you want to tune into a fantasy football podcast and fantasy footballers, that's good, but nobody cares about your fantasy team.
Nobody does, but everyone has to have an opinion about it.
It would kill me in local radio when it was like, I'm sure people still do this, but hey, call in with your fantasy football question, and someone's got something so specific. So I got Sam Darnold in the 4th round, and then I went ahead and I took a chance on Fernando Mendoza later in the draft, and I'm seeing in week 6 they're playing. I'm just like, if I'm listening to that in my car or driving, I'm thinking,
off a cliff.
Who the hell cares
exactly
about this? Like, it's so specific to you that I'm just like, no one is sitting around thinking, I had the same dilemma with those same 3 guys, and then this, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, people, hey, my team? No, I don't care about your team. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't get into it.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. All right. So, hey, listen, I know that I'm kind of, my questions are out. I'm done with my questions.
Well, hit them with the get off my lawn.
That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do a get off my lawn segment that we do here on the show. I don't know if you're familiar with it. We always do a little segment here. I give you a couple choices. One you want, hey, stay on my lawn. We'll have a beer. We'll have a soda, pop, whatever, sangria. I don't know, something.
Okay.
The other one, you get the hell off my lawn. We don't want you on here. But again, this not to say that you really don't like the person or the thing to get off your lawn, but it's something that you would rather have the pop.
It's great. I love it.
Love
Love the
a little
premise.
segment here. So my first segment, since you are a Braves fan, I had to go this route a little bit with you. And a little tongue-in-cheek with this one. Who do you want off your lawn? Jimmy Leyritz? Well, I'm not saying why.
Yeah.
Or Jack Morris.
Ooh, definitely Jack Morris, because Jim Leyritz we've interviewed and got to know a little bit at Outkick, and he's a great guy. Great interview. So, I mean, he was so nice, I had a hard time hating him for that 96 series. But, yeah, I still kind of hate him a little bit. But definitely get off my lawn, Jack Morris.
Yes. Okay. Well, I tell you, Jim Leyritz, my cousin's friends with him.
Game 7, 1-0 in 10 innings.
Oof.
I was 9 years old in 1991 watching that. And that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
Oh, man. Jim Leyritz is a friend of my cousin's. He gave us tickets to a Yankee game. Dee's first Yankee game, my son. So
That's
we went to
awesome.
the game there. All right, Jack Morris. All right, another one. This is a tough one. I'm giving you 3. And it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Who you want off your lawn, who you want on your lawn. Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, or John Smoltz. Whew. Yeah, that's a tough one.
All 3 great.
Yeah.
So I can only pick one to be on my lawn?
Yeah, one to hang out and have a...
Greg Maddux. Here's
okay.
why. I hear Tom Glavine on Braves broadcasts all the time. I hear John Smoltz on national broadcasts all the time. You don't hear from Greg Maddux as much, who doesn't do a ton of interviews. But every time I see a clip of that guy talking about baseball, I'm more and more in love with Greg Maddux as the pitcher and the mind that he was for the game. So Greg Maddux.
Nice.
And can I have an old fashioned and not a sangria?
Okay, that's
what I prefer. Yeah.
That's all, because I think I watched the same ones. The way he would catch a baseball back from catcher from Eddie Perez, and boom, this is my next pitch. I mean, it is almost like I send it to my son, and he just one ear out the other. I'm like, this is. And just as beautiful.
Never thought of that as a thing until I saw that. How he caught it was the signal.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, listen, as a Yankee fan in that era, his strike zone was a little bit bigger than everyone else's too. So, but nowadays, would he be all right? They always say that he would never pitch in the MLB now because he doesn't throw the ball over 95 miles per hour. And now they have that.
He didn't throw it over 90.
No,
I
know.
Now every pitcher in college baseball in the SEC throws over 90. Everyone. It's crazy.
It's like throw as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and that's it. You're done. We'll bring another one in. All right, very good. All right, this might be another one. All right, who you want on your lawn? Who you want off your lawn? Hank Aaron?
Okay.
Or Larry Wayne Jones?
So I got to say on my lawn, Larry Wayne Jones, because posted a video of my daughter at a hitting lesson in her form and sent it to Chipper because he does this thing where he helps young people with their swing.
Awesome.
And I said, hey, how about one for the girls? What do you think? He responded with the most in detail, long response of he's like, yeah, got to help out the ladies. He's like, everything is good until contact. She needs to think through center field and not right field, because a lot of kids, they get excited when they hit and don't finish. And he gives all of these physics. I mean, stuff I'd never thought about with a swing, quite
love
frankly.
to see it.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's great. And so many people commented on it. So Chipper for sure.
Awesome. The reason why I had to say it, because I know the Met fans, they would all yell Larry. Junk
Larry. Yeah.
All right, here's my last question here.
All right.
We got the University of Kentucky, LSU, or Alabama.
I mean,
It's a tough one.
Here's the thing. Like, I respect Alabama's tradition.
Yeah.
And I don't hate their fans. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's got to be get off my lawn, Alabama, because it's Tennessee's biggest rival, longest standing historical rival. Mm-hmm. I've grown up and been around way more Alabama fans than anything else in the state of Tennessee that are front runner bandwagon fans, regardless of what they say, unless they went to the school. Most of them are. Most of them have some crazy story about how their, great grandfather's best friend was an Alabama fan, or someone gave them a houndstooth fedora when they were 6 and they became an Alabama fan. But really, it's because Alabama was really good and they wanted to be an Alabama fan. So get off my lawn, Alabama. I've never gotten the LSU thing. I just don't. The whole Cajun thing, I don't get it. Anything with their program, I respect it. I know they're very good in sports. Don't get the whole LSU thing. And Kentucky, Yeah,
They're just there.
Kentucky's fun. Kentucky. It's almost football season, so I'm not thinking about Kentucky too
LSU
much.
fans, I think, are the worst. They're the most rowdy and vulgar. And I remember we had a game back in 2003, maybe. Everybody was parking in behind the Sigma Newhouse, and I had a buddy in town who was coming to hang out, and he parked like his parents' Range Rover or something back there, and some LSU fan got mad and said, you can't park. Like, you can't, this is a fraternity parking lot. Like, you guys should not be here. But he was like, thanks for double parking, except he carved it into the car.
Oh, no.
Ever since then, I've never had any respect for LSU fans. I'm sorry.
Go eat some jambalaya and leave us alone. Don't carve stuff into our vehicle.
I got to say, you know what? I've been to a couple LSU games. I have some friends down there. I go down there. So not every LSU fan is like that. There's some good ones. You guys know who you are.
They're usually pretty hospitable with the food and all that. And I like the food. I get the culture, but I just, if you ask me, like, I'm the #1 quarterback in America, and you're going to visit 5 schools. Yeah. LSU is not even on my list. Not even close to it. Of 5 places I'd like to visit. Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
Well, Baton Rouge is really not the best area. Let's be honest.
No, not at all. It's hot too. I just
very hot.
Stay Louisiana, swamps. Yeah. I just no thanks.
Now this is my segment here. This is my segment. These are my rants. I just get angry about certain things. It's to get off my lawn. Now I get so angry, I get passionate. This is my passion right now. My rant here is, it's on TV right now. We got the Little League World Series, right? You got the Little League World Series. It's great. I did coach a couple of the kids for the last 3 years that were on the Nolensville team. Great ball players. But look at the worst thing that really bothers me is the families, the parents. It's not about you. It's about the kids. For God's sakes, those parents, they put their kid's head and they're like, look at me, I'm on TV. Oh, screaming and yelling. They got the cowbell and the camera. Oh, look at this guy. Hey, stop it. It's not about you. It's about the kid. That's exactly what we talk about. No one cares about mom sitting in the stands with a face painted. We're going to get to the face painted. They paint their face. Oh, look at the southeast region. Stop it. Stop that crap. It's not about you. Oh, you struck a kid out? Congratulations. That's it. Don't scream and yell and look at me, the attention. I'm screaming because, we struck it. Now, if I'm a father on the other team, you're like, you son of a bitch. You struck my kid out. Stop it. And then I'm saying that just bothers me. Just be respectful. Yes, you win. Okay, great. You hit a base. Yeah, okay, great. Don't scream and carry on like an idiot. Just be there for the kid. Do not
have some class, guys.
Yes, exactly. So that's my rant today. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. That bothered me. Sorry about that.
Pretty safe rant.
That was a good one.
All right, some safe rant.
Some of his rants
we got
you're going to get a suit.
Yeah, we got.
It was very angry yet professional.
Yeah, right.
Solid job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The other one we did almost get in trouble. Well, we probably did. We'll still have it. Who cares?
You'll be fine.
We know some lawyers.
People have short memories, attention spans. You'll be good. It's okay. Trust me. For someone people have been angry with a lot, you'll be fine.
Nice.
They'll get over it. Yeah,
exactly. Time heals all wounds, right? Well, I want to say again, thank you for coming down here.
Thanks for having me.
This is awesome. And congratulations on your new show.
Thank you.
And everything. This is awesome. Thank you. Well, we want to give you a parting gift here.
Oh, nice.
We'll give you a nice parting gift here. So here you go.
Is it that hat that you're wearing?
It's one of the hats. It's one of the hats.
Nice.
It's a t-shirt. Some koozies in there too.
This is outstanding.
So
I was commenting on the merch and I liked it. So thank you so much for this.
You know what? You want a hoodie? We'll grab one of those hoodies. Which side? We'll grab one of those hoodies too.
I don't want to take all your gear here. No,
listen,
it's fine.
You take. We got plenty of it.
This is awesome.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Yep.
Anytime. And please. Thank you so much for coming down here, and we got to hang out in the Grove then.
Let's do it.
We'll see you at the Grove. We'll go ahead. I know my buddy mine's got a tech.
Let's go.
Let's do it. And I know that.
Hopefully Greg's car doesn't get carved into.
Yeah, we'll be renting one.
Yeah, you're gonna be renting one. I know we're gonna try to get our beer league tent up there. So a friend of mine that has the tent up there. We're gonna try to do some live shows up there too. And a buddy of mine's got it catered and everything. So we'll just go there. But I don't think we're gonna have corn dogs though. That's for sure.
Well, it's going to be a riot type situation. It's going to be a powder keg. So
it is.
It's going to be the game of the season.
But also, I want to throw out there too, on just to add this, is we had our sponsor today. We just got ourselves. We signed our contract with our sponsor. Club Champion Golf. So we signed our contract with Club Champion Golf. So if you out there in podcast land want to go ahead and get some golf gear, you go ahead down there or sign up on clubchampion.com. And
I mean, it was a fantastic facility right there by the Cool Springs Mall. They've got all these TrackMans and they've got multiple bays, and you might have seen Seth doing some putting with an unorthodox stance. But once you corrected that stance, it looked pretty good. But these guys can analyze your swing from 30 different directions, and then they're changing up the club heads, and you can actually see in real time how it's getting better and going farther. So definitely go there, say Beer League Live, and helps you support the show.
Yeah, you go there, and you can go to the website. If you don't live around here, you can go, like, they have a whole bunch of stores in the United States, Canada, UK, and in Australia. So if you go ahead and put in Beer League
for our Australian audience, which is growing
heavily.
Dingoes and kangaroos every day.
They're playing, what do you call it, Australian rules football. I don't know.
Oh, that's brutal, man.
Yeah,
that's actually
that's crazy.
a niche market. That
doing Beer League and doing that,
just
that's
a bunch
nuts.
of punters running around tackling each other with no pads or helmets or anything.
No.
It's good stuff.
No, but hey, remember, everybody out there, all roads lead to Beer League. Just remember that. But again, so thank you so much for our guest here. I tell you, Chad, thank you so much again for everything. And I think that's it there, Greg. What are you thinking?